I want to introduce you to a product that I think is the miracle drug for your fabric. Now, those of you that have been using it for years and years already know this is wonderful. So if you've never used it before, let me explain. When I first started teaching for Hancock Fabrics 45 years ago, I walked into the store and I saw this huge display of interfacing. And I was like, what do you use all that for? Well, and then I was told, well, this you use for this, and this you use for this, and this you... And I'm like, no, that's too confusing to me. I'm sorry. So I purchased a product called Easy Knit, and it was 21 inches wide, and I loved it. I didn't love 21 inches wide, but I loved the product because it was tricot. It was like your slip, which would be like a lining, instantly. But I loved it because it was tricot with glue on the back side of it. Then it became Knit Fuse, and it became a lot of different names while I was there. Now it is called French Fuse. No, I did not invent that name. They invented that name. So, good morning. My name is Judy Kessinger. I'm the owner and the creator of Fit Nice System. And I want to explain to you that everything that you see here on the rack is made off of one pattern. One. All patterns are created equal. They all have a front, back, and a sleeve. So this is what we got. Front, back, and a sleeve. Just different variations of the front, back, and sleeve. Like what I have on, okay? So this is a V-neck. Everybody loves V-necks. And it's a jacket. I'll back up a little bit and see if you can see that it's a jacket. But here's the best part about this jacket. I am kind of persnickety. That's a funny word, but I'm kind of persnickety about everything hanging perfectly. I want it to hang perfectly. I don't want anything sitting over here. I want it to hang on my body the way it was designed to hang. Now, if you think all of that is up to you, or you think all of that is up to your fabric, well, it is kind of, but it's also up to your interfacing. So let me explain. French Fuse, as I told you, is a tricot interfacing with glue on the backside. It comes 60 inches wide, and it comes in black, and it comes in white, okay? Now, here's the best part of this. Let me hold up the white just a second. The best part of this is that this product stretches. See, it stretches. So if you put it on a knit, it gives with a knit. It doesn't take the stretch out of the knit. It actually has the stretch that goes with the knit, which is glorious because I love knits. I really do love knits. I know a lot of you like wovens, and I do, but I love knits. Now, the jacket I have on is a knit, all right? And it's kind of, it's not a heavyweight knit, kind of a lightweight knit. So I have it on the whole jacket. I have it all on the inside of the jacket. Now that becomes my lining. You all line sleeves so you can get in to the sleeves. This all has the French Fuse on it. So I can get into the sleeves, okay? So French Fuse, 60 inches wide. I sell it on my website. FitNiceSystem.com, 60 inches wide. I keep saying 60 inches wide because that's really important. When we're working with a product, we want to get the most out of it. And that's when you're going to get the most out of it. Now, where else do I use French Fuse? You won't believe this. I love sweater knit. It is my favorite thing to work with. It's my very favorite fabric to use in a garment. But sweater knit, especially when you put a zipper into it, sweater knit is, let's see, how would I describe this? Challenging, but not if you put French Fuse on it. So let me show you a garment that I have put French Fuse on. So this is a sweater knit. I'll put this on for you. Can you see that the whole inside has the black French Fuse on it? Now, there are 4 videos on my website, 4 of the 400 videos on my website, all for free. And 4 videos tell you how to put French fuse on. You are not going to put French fuse on your fabric and then cut it out because you're wasting French fuse. So go back and watch the videos on how to put this on. But I want to show you how wonderful this jacket hangs, or this sweater hangs. And it does have a zipper in it, okay? So let me take this one off and put this one on. And then I'm gonna redo this camera so I can back up a little bit more. Is that gorgeous? Let me do it, hold on. So you can see the whole thing. Isn't that pretty? A very nice lady named Vicki sent me this fabric. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I love it. And I want you to see how beautifully it hangs. I don't have bubbles in my sweater knit. It hangs beautifully. There it looks like from the side, and there it looks like from the back. Now, this has a zipper in it, and let me zip this up to show you. See how beautifully the zipper hangs? A lot of people, when they use a separating zipper in a garment, no matter what kind of fabric you're using, wind up, and I call it a bacon zipper, because it goes like this. If you put French fuse, even if you don't want to put French fuse on the whole thing, just use like a 2-inch strip of French fuse where you're going to put the zipper. It will hang perfectly straight. These are the little, I would call tips and tricks that a lot of you get frustrated on because it doesn't do what you want it to do. And French fuse will make it do what you want it to do. So I'm going to show you another sweater that I love. And this sweater knit fabric is called Hacci, H-A-C-C-I. And this also has French fuse in it. Now, Hacci sweater knit is very soft. So I only put it in the front and the back. I didn't put it in the sleeves because I wanted that softness on my arms. That's the advantage that you have. Now, I have a facing in here. And one of the things I want to tell you about a facing, let me show you the facing in the other one. I like big, wide facings. Can you see how wide that is? I like big, wide facings because they make the garment hang better. And again, this has a separating zipper in it, and I want it to hang perfectly straight. So French fuse is the answer. So the next garment I want to show you is a woven garment. And this garment is made from scraps. I love scraps. I never throw scraps away. Now, if they're big scraps, I throw little bitty scraps away. But I never throw scraps away because I can do things like this. Now, this is the Calicoat. It is in the Design Yourself book, Design It Yourself book. Isn't this pretty? Now, the best part about this is this was a scrap, this was a scrap, this was, and so was this. Let me back up a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better. Now, one of the best things about this Calicoat, and that's exactly what it is it has these notches in it. And I love notches because it just gives a detail. But when I sewed the scraps together, I wanted just a little bit of definition to it. So I covered it with strips, and that's exactly what these are. I'll come up close. These are strips of suede fabric. Now, the best part about that is the suede fabric I could cut with a rotary cutter and cut it straight. So these are flat. They're not folded in to finish the edges. They're just flat strips of suede. I glued them on with Steam-A-Seam so that they were perfectly straight, and I didn't need any pins when I stitched them on. And yes, I did stitch them on. You know, when you travel, you really rub these things, and I didn't want anything to come off. So they were glued on with Steam-A-Seam and then stitched on. But you can see how beautifully this hangs. And again, guess what? It has French fuse in it. And the French fuse is what gives it its body. The French fuse is what makes the collar and the trim hang perfectly straight. This also has a separating zipper in it. You know, I love zippers. And one of the reasons I love zippers is, to me, they're the jewelry of your garment. But the best part about zippers is they have weight to them. So it makes your garment hang better. So think about it that way. Now this jacket is wool. This is called the Rebecca jacket. And you can purchase the variation on my website. It's a $5 variation. And this is a heavyweight wool. And I did use French fuse, and I put French fuse just in the facing because I needed to give that wool a little bit more weight. Let me back up a little so you can see the whole length of it. And then I have buttons on here. And the buttons, you're gonna laugh at this, are glued on. They're glued on with E6000. Now, why do I glue on buttons? Because I don't like to hand sew. But I don't put buttonholes in things. And if I do put a buttonhole in, I don't cut the buttonhole open. Because to me, buttonholes can get really wonky. I don't button anything. I zip them, but I don't button anything. So there was no reason to put buttonholes in here. Again, can you see big, wide facing? So it's only on the facing. So if that gives you a little bit of ideas of what I do use French fuse on and what I don't use French fuse on. So let me show you one more jacket. And this jacket is one of my favorites because it's brand new. Now I gave myself the Baby Lock Applaud cover stitch machine for my birthday. Yay. And one of the reasons I did that was so that I could show you guys different ways to take a plain garment and decorate it. And so that's what I did here. And this was done on the Applaud. Now go back and look it up, babylock.com. Go look it up and you'll see what a wonderful machine this is. But again, this is sweater knit with a big facing. I know that's hard to see, but French fuse is on the sweater knit. And this side is called Arietta, A-R-I-E-T-T-A. It's made by Robert Kaufman. And I love it because it's a heavyweight, well, not heavyweight, it's a heavier weight knit, but it hangs beautifully. So what a good complement to each other. The sweater knit has French fuse on the whole thing, and it does because it's sweater knit, and I wanted that to have the body to it. But again, big facings. Now I put a trim on the hem of my garment, and it's the sweater knit that I used as the trim. So French fuse, French fuse, French fuse. Now one other thing I want to show you before I stop, and that is a lot of you have one shoulder higher than the other. You tell me that all the time. Or you have sloping shoulders. Now I have sloping shoulders. They're not terrible, but I have sloping shoulders. And what happens with sloping shoulders is you want to use shoulder pads. No, because when you do, what do you wind up with? You wind up with a bulky look up here. Let me show you how to do it without using a bulky look. Now, this garment is nothing more than a t-shirt. See? T. That's why they call them t-shirts. But what I do is in all my shirts, because I have slight sloping shoulders, I put in shoulder pads. Now I'm going to show you the shoulder pads. I'm going to come up real close to the camera so that you can see. Can you see the black? Those are my shoulder pads. And what they do is they define my shoulders. They don't pad them, they define them. I don't know if you paid attention to the coat, the pink coat, how beautifully the shoulders were. You know, a lot of people don't think about this, but when you look in the mirror at a garment, you don't necessarily look at the whole garment first. You look from here up. And guess what you're seeing from here up? Your shoulders. So we want those shoulders to be as beautiful as the rest of the garment. And one of the ways to do that is to make a French fuse shoulder pad. There is a video on the website that tells you how to make this shoulder pad. I hope I've given you some interest in the product French fuse. I think it's a miracle drug. I really do. You'll be amazed what it does to your garments. You'll be amazed at what it does to your fabric. Thanks.